let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zanella Claxton from the Ministry of Education ETAL, and it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning to share with you, and of course, it is a beautiful day. It's Easter weekend here on in our federation, and on Nevis, you know, we had so far we had a Good Friday steeped in tradition for all those who had their dumpling and mackerel and sawfish and their ground provisions yesterday and their Johnny cakes. Those are a rich part of our tradition to all of the children. I hope you had fun flying your kites and enjoying those activities. And I know usually Easter Monday means church picnic days, so we can look forward to some church beachniks and some other activities happening. And of course, we want you all to have fun, to be safe, to be careful. And then right out of the blocks next week, we go into some big events happening right here in Nevis. I think the single biggest event, the biggest single day event on the island takes place next Wednesday. We refer to it as the Mini Olympics. It's the Nevis Interprimary Schools Championship. And we'll talk a bit about that. Our students are excited. Some are a little bit nervous, but they'll be fine. I think a little nerve sometimes helps to drive them even further and help them to display their abilities. Some of them are doing their final activities leading up. They had their school spirit weeks last week, and so they're all pumped, and they know that their schools, their classmates and schoolmates and parents and other community members are rallying behind them for this meet coming up on Wednesday. On Tuesday, we have the press conference. The press conference will take place at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, and we will have some presentations by various stakeholders. We also will have our sponsors sharing, and we will reveal and release some information that is pertinent for the running of the meet, some information that we want everyone to tune into. So we encourage all of you to tune into the NTV's Facebook page and YouTube channel for the press conference. It has an exciting twist to it this year as well. We are trying to ensure that we get the students a bit more involved in the press conference. In the past, we have had predominantly the adult stakeholders, and so we're trying to get some more students involved in that activity. So what can we look forward to next Tuesday? The lead up to, or the road to the final journey, the final leg of the road to inter-primary. We have 9 teams competing at the meet, or for the meet this year, and the teams represent both public and private schools. So we have the CPS Tigers, and they are sponsored by the Bank of Nevis Limited and Tropical Blossom. We have the St. Thomas's Primary Jaguars, and they are sponsored by St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank. We have the VOJN Blue Dragons, and they are sponsored by Sagicor and The Finished Touch. We have the St. James Primary Thunders, sponsored by Oali Beach Resort and Islander Water Sports Nevis. We have the JLPS Falcons. They're sponsored by the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla Trading and Development Company, TDC Group of Companies. The EPPS Lions, and they're sponsored by Sol. We also have the Ivor Walters Primary School Mustangs, and they're sponsored by the Bank of Nevis Limited and SL Hosfords Limited. We also have Nevis Academy, the Nevis Academy Eagles, and they are sponsored by the Nevis Cooperative Credit Union and Nevis Islander Water Sports. And then we have Maud Cross Preparatory School and the Maud Cross Prep Eagles, and they're sponsored by Forum Deco and Tropical Boost. So those are the 9 teams competing in the meet this year, and I think I forgot to state the colors, but I think everybody out there knows the colors. They know what color they're planning to rep on Wednesday when they come on out for the championship. And so we have the CPS Tigers in orange, the St. Thomas's Primary Jaguars in green, we have VOJN Blue Dragons in blue, they wear royal blue. Then we have the St. James Primary Thunders in red, the JLPS Falcons in purple, the EPPS Lions in yellow, the Ivor Walters Mustangs in burgundy or maroon, the Maroon Mustangs, and the Nevis Academy Eagles in hot pink, and the Mudcross Eagles in baby blue or light blue. So those are our teams, and as I said, we can look forward to an exciting event comprising of we have the weight throw, which is the cricket ball throw, and that will take place first. That will be at the start of the meet, and then we will continue through. Okay, all right, so we'll have the 400 meters happening. So we'll have some weight throw and 400 meters happening from the beginning of the meet. We'll mix them in, and before we break this morning and transition, because we know it is the final Saturday, so we will have our disaster management ambassador program happening. But before we get there, I want to run you through some of the activities, the activity lineup. I also feel a little bit like giving away some tickets today, so I think I'll give away a few tickets this morning. I'm hoping that we have people who are up and ready and rearing so that they can get their tickets, and for those who win the tickets, you'll have until noon on Tuesday to pick them up, or we're giving them back into the general pile. All right, and so we have, as I said, we start off with the cricket ball throw, or what we refer to as the weight throw. We'll start with the grades 5 and 6 girls, then we will go into the 5 and 6 boys. At the same time, we can look at the 300 meter dash, grade 2, 300 meter dash, grade 2 boys and girls, sorry. Then the 400 meters for grade 6 girls and boys. The weight throw will be happening, as I said, at the same time for grades 3 and 4 girls and boys. Then we'll go into the 400 meter dash for the grades 5, 4 and 3. We'll have a medal presentation, and then at the next up we'll have the 60 meter dash. So we expect the 60 meters to start, give or take, around 1 o'clock. I'm hoping we can stay on schedule, so please make sure you get there early so that you can be part of what is happening, and you can really pay keen attention and be able to support your team from start to finish. We'll have the girls 60 meter dash, as I said, just about 1 o'clock. We'll start with that, and then those will go straight down to about 1:30 or thereabout. The weight throw or cricket ball throw will continue for grades 1 and 2, at which point we'll also have the 1200 meter open race happening. Then the girls 150 meter dash will be happening, and the boys for grades 1 and 2. As we continue through the day, after the 150 for grades 1 and 2, with grades 3 will start with their 200 meters. I'll give or take around 2:35. I'm going to try to be the clock person to see how closely we can stick to our time. We don't want to keep the students out way past their bedtimes. I know the excitement will keep them up, but we want to manage the time properly as much as possible, barring any delays. And then from the 200 meters we'll go straight into a medal presentation, and then the 4x1, give or take, we're thinking somewhere around 4 o'clock we should be at the 4x1, the 800 meters, the 100 meters, and then we go to the 4x4. So we are hoping to be complete for all of the events proper to be completed before 7:30, so that we can have another 30-minute window for the closing ceremony. So that is our hope, and we look forward to seeing all of you. We're expecting the level of support that we've always seen for all of the meets, and we hope that you are there very early. It's usually a public half holiday. Some persons take a vacation day to make sure they're there for the 11:30 opening ceremony, but we hope that we can have everyone there present and ready to go. Okay. I did say I had some questions, so we'll take a short break. When we come back, very short break. When we come back, I have to our ambassador program, and so we'll have a few questions just to give away a few tickets and help persons to be locked in and ready to go, help a few persons along. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening.
We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Everything else deployed. Some of our teachers at the various levels are also helping us at the event, and so we are not going. Well, school will not be in session on Wednesday. So it might be a public half holiday, but we have waived sessions because the ceremony starts in the morning. It starts at 11:30, and we need to make sure that everyone is there prior to that. Okay, so we have a few questions that we want to give away. We have a few tickets that we want to give away, and so we will ask the questions, and then we'll give those away. The winners, you have until 12 o'clock on Tuesday to collect your tickets. Question 1: who are the sponsors for the 2024 Interprimary Championship? Name the sponsors of the 2024 Interprimary Championship. Numbers to call: 469-1616, 469-1700. Please name the sponsors of the 2024 Interprimary Schools Championship. And if nobody knows this one, then we will have to keep going. And maybe everyone has their ticket already. I don't know. We'll see. 469-1616. 469-1700. Name the sponsors for the 2024 Inter-Primary Schools Championship, and the winner will receive a ticket. Who name the patrons for the 2024 Championship and the school they attended? Name the patron of the 2024 Inter-Primary Championship and the school they attended. 469-1616, 469-1700, with 2 questions on the table, and we have to transition shortly. Do we have a caller? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm
today?
going to answer the question for the sponsors.
Okay.
I think it's Bank of Nevis, Bonnie, and Gulf Insurance.
Okay. So, do you want Bank of Nevis or do you want Bunny? Because they're 2 different entities. So you gave me 3
Bank
sponsors.
of Nevis.
All right. So not quite correct. So I would like for you to think about it a bit more and give us a call right back.
Okay.
Okay?
What?
Very warm. Very warm. Okay. So the numbers to call: 469-1616, 469-1700. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Claxton, and how are you?
I'm doing well today, and I'm hoping that I have a winner on the line. Which question do you want to answer?
The one that person kind of missed out on.
Okay, go ahead.
Bonnie, B-O-N-I, Bonnie, and Gulf Insurance.
All right, perfect. And what is your name?
Shoya. They went to the patient.
Okay, you have to give me both. You have to give me their names and the school they attended.
Okay, the patrons are Mr. Delvis Pemberton and Miss Teresa Brown.
And what school did they attend?
The John Killarney Primary School.
Okay, what is your name?
Leniqua Daya.
Leniqua Daya, you are correct. And so you have until 12 noon on Tuesday to collect your ticket at the Department of Education, or we're going to have to throw it back into circulation. And I know we don't. Limited been sponsoring the Inter-Primary Championship. How many years has Gulf Insurance Limited been sponsoring the Inter-Primary Championship? And we're looking forward to hearing from what is gearing up to be an exciting week. And primary schools, the Department of Sports, and the Department of Education. Please note that we still have the early bird special going, and so we are encouraging you to purchase your tickets early because the price is a little bit higher on the day of the event. And so currently we have a $20 for adults, $10 early bird for children, and $35 early bird for parking. And the $10 price goes for persons between the ages of 5 and 16. Sorry, the $10 goes between the ages of 5 and 12, and anyone over will go over to the $20 price. The adults, your price for the day of the event, $25. Children on the day of the event, $15. And inside parking with the driver included, of course, will be $40 on the day of the event. So you want to make sure that you go to one of the primary schools on Nevis, or the Department of Sports right there on the top floor of Reliable Motors, or the Department of Education to purchase your ticket for the early bird special. Take advantage of it. It will go until Tuesday, after which we cannot accommodate. Our offices are all closed on Wednesday all day long. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. Can you tell us how many years has Gulf Insurance Limited been sponsoring the Inter-Primary Schools Championship?
This year will be 30 years.
Wonderful. And what is your name?
Shalante Lawrence?
Shalante?
Yes.
Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay, Shalante, you are very correct. This year is the 30th anniversary. Gulf will be, since Gulf started sponsoring the championship, you can collect your ticket at the Department of Education before noon on Tuesday. All right, enjoy the rest of your Easter
Thank you.
break. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so listeners, it has been an exciting run. We gave away 3 tickets. Miss Shoya Lawrence correctly told us the sponsors: Gulf Insurance Limited and Bonnie Limited. Ms. Leniqua Daya gave us the names of the patrons and the school they attended. The patrons are Mr. Delvis Pemberton and Miss Teresa Brown, and they attended the Joycelyn Library Primary School. And the Miss Shalante Lawrence gave us the number of years since Gulf has been sponsoring the championship. This year is the 30th year. Okay, and they're correct. So 30 years, 30 strong years that Gulf has been working with us, and we want to say thank you to them for their continued support over the years. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will meet our we'll have our disaster management focus, and we will have our disaster management ambassador take us through that area of focus. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Grab your gears, let's gather round, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, welcome back to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I'm Zanella Claxton from the Ministry of Education at TAO, and we have with us this morning a very important guest. I will allow
earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides, or meteoric impacts.
Oh, nice. So the wave travels in all directions from the area of disturbance, and much like a ripple, you know, when you throw a rock in the ocean, you get a kind of ripple effect. It's kind of similar to that, listeners and viewers. The waves may travel as fast as 450 miles per hour in the open ocean. I mean, that is way stronger than we could ever think of a hurricane, even the worst hurricane that destroys. So you could imagine how fast and how strong that is. As big waves approach shallow waters along the coast, they grow to a great height, and then they smash into the shore. They can be as high as 100 feet and can cause a lot of damage along the shore. And sometimes, based on the size of the country or the size of the island, they can also cause tremendous damage on inland as well. Especially countries like us in our region. You know, we're in the tropics and we're surrounded by oceans. So, what are the types of tsunamis, Cyprian?
There are about 3 types of tsunamis. The 3 of them are local tsunamis, regional tsunamis, and distant tsunamis.
All right, perfect. Just maybe you can explain each one of them so that we can get an idea of what the differences are. So we have local, regional, and distance or tele-tsunamis. Okay, so tell us the difference, Cyprian.
So local tsunamis are just tsunamis that originate from within about 100 kilometers or less than 1 hour tsunami travel time from the impacted coastline. Authorities have little time to warn or evacuate the population.
All right, and what about regional tsunamis?
Well, regional tsunamis are tsunamis capable of destruction in a particular geographical region, generally within 1,000 kilometers from where it begins. Regional tsunamis can arrive to affected coastlines within 1 to 3 hours of being generated.
Okay, and then finally we have tele or distant tsunamis.
Tele or distant tsunamis are tsunamis that are from its origin are more. Tele tsunami or distant tsunamis is a tsunami that from its origin it is more than 1,000 kilometers or more than 3 hours tsunami travel time from the impacted coastline.
Okay, so we're looking at 100 kilometers for the local ones, and that's about 1 hour tsunami travel time. I guess the tsunamis have their own travel time based on their rate, and then we move on to 1,000 kilometers for 1 to 3 travel time. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So, what are the causes of tsunamis, Cyprian?
The causes of tsunamis are earthquakes of a high magnitude, landslides, volcanoes, meteorites, which is a weather condition.
Okay, and so I think that the most popular one that we've heard of is and has been the earthquakes. Yes, that has been a popular one that we've heard of quite a lot. But we're also learning today that meteorites, volcanoes, and landslides are also possibilities. All right. So what are some of the factors that determine a tsunami hazard's impact in a specific community? What are some of the factors that can determine the type of impact a tsunami can have on a community?
Well, that would include the characteristics of tsunamis, speed of onset, impact forces, currents, and wave height. The time of day, whether high tide or low tide, and the geography of the sea, the geography of the area.
Okay, perfect. All right. What are the tsunami warning signs? You realize how fast tsunamis are based on what we talked about before, Cyprian. What are some of the warning signs?
Well, some warning signs can be examples as when you feel a strong earthquake at the coast, strong enough to make you fall, sea level fluctuations, abnormally receding water or increasing sea levels, unusual wave behavior, and a roaring like thunder like noise.
Nice. It's not nice to hear a roaring thunder like noise, but it's nice that you're sharing the information with us so that everyone out there can have an idea of what they should look for. And once again, listeners and viewers, we all live in a what we would classify as a coastal area because our island is very small, and so a tsunami can easily cover a significant portion of our island, and so we have to be aware of what we're looking for, what we're listening for when considering a tsunami. How fast does a tsunami travel?
Well, in the open ocean, tsunamis can reach 500 miles per hour.
Ooh.
So a near-field tsunami will arrive within minutes. This is why it is so important that people understand the natural warning signs of a tsunami and act immediately to get to safety.
Okay, so we don't have 1 to 2 hours. In essence, based on where we live, we may have minutes, which means there are certain things that we have to do quickly. We'll talk about that, but before we get there, what do we do before a tsunami?
Well, before a tsunami, we should always build an emergency kit, make a family communication plan. If the water recedes from the shoreline or goes out to sea in a very noticeable way, get away from the area immediately. This is nature's warning sign that a tsunami is coming.
All right, and what do you do during the tsunami?
So during a tsunami, you should not return home unless officials tell you it is safe to do so. Stay away from debris in the water. It could be dangerous.
All right, and so I know sometimes we get excited when we see things floating around in the water and we want to know what it is, and so that's really good advice. Anything else?
Stay out of any building with water around it. Water makes floors crack or walls collapse. Text, don't talk, as you may block the phone lines for emergency workers.
Well, Cyprian, that has been a consistent bit of advice from all of the other schools we've had this year. We had Charlestown Primary, In January, we had St. James Primary. In February, and now we're at St. Thomas's Primary. And that has been consistent. In the event that there is a disaster of any kind, we're advised to send text messages and not block the phone lines by trying to call persons, because you won't get the calls out, and then the emergency officials won't be able to get calls in either. So that's important. Now, Cyprian, there are some key words that we need to know. What are some of those words? Let's go through some of them. The first one is inland. When I call the word, you can read the definition or tell the listeners and viewers what that word means.
Inland simply means away from the coastline.
Okay.
Coastline.
Away from the coastline. Okay. Seismic sea waves.
Just another way to describe tsunamis.
Perfect. Evacuation.
Leaving an area that has been declared unsafe.
Debris.
Rubble, trash, or random material like large pieces of wood, metal, or plastic.
All right. And so we have what we call a tsunami information statement. What is that?
Well, a tsunami information statement is issued to inform that an earthquake has occurred, or that a tsunami warning, watch, or advisory has been issued for another section of the ocean. In most cases, information statements are issued to indicate there is no threat of a destructive basin-wide tsunami and to prevent unnecessary evacuations, as the earthquake may have been felt in coastal areas.
Okay, perfect. And so basically the tsunami information statement gives us information or insight about what can come as it relates to a tsunami. What about a tsunami advisory?
A tsunami advisory is issued when a tsunami with the potential to generate strong currents or waves dangerous to those in or very near the water is imminent, expected, or occurring.
Okay, and then a tsunami watch.
A tsunami watch is issued to alert emergency management officials and the public of an event which may later impact the watch area.
Okay, and then of course we have the tsunami warning.
A tsunami warning is issued when a tsunami with the potential to generate widespread inundation is imminent, expected, or occurring.
Okay, and so just like hurricanes, I know, Cyprian, most persons have their frame of reference, which is a hurricane. Lots of us hear about hurricane watch, hurricane warning, a hurricane advisory, and so it is pretty much the same, I think, for a tsunami. Okay, so we have our advisories, we have a watch, we have your warning. And it escalates as it gets more and more likely that it would affect us. Bathymetry.
Bathymetry is the measurement of depth of water in oceans, rivers, or lakes. Bathymetric maps look a lot like topographic maps, which use lines to show the shape and elevation of land features.
Okay, and bathymetry, I see a root word there. Which is bath, makes me think of water, right? Good. And then the last one is cancellation.
A cancellation is issued after an evaluation of water level data confirms that a destructive tsunami will not impact an area under a warning, advisory, or watch, that a tsunami has diminished to a level where additional damage is not expected.
All right. So, Cyprian, the reality is that most of us live in homes which are relatively close to the ocean, and like I said, we have a very small island, and your school is actually below sea level, which means you can stay in some parts of your school and actually see, especially your playground, and perhaps see the ocean. There's a road leading from your school down to Paradise Beach, right? So you know that there is no doubt that your school is in one of those zones that can potentially be affected if you're at school during the day and there is a tsunami. Have you ever been part of a tsunami drill?
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember about it, if you remember anything at all?
Well, we usually take the path that leads up. We usually take a path that goes up and we run all the way to the ball field.
Oh, so you go up to Jessup ball field, right? Okay, so you start, you go up through Paradise, the village, and you go through up to the ball field. And that, I think, has been identified by the Nevis Disaster Management Authority as one of the, of the area where you should be safe from a tsunami. The students generally get there, they are aware, they have practiced over the years, and each match we try to make sure that there's actually a Carib Wave drill where the students get a chance to practice that particular drill, especially those in areas close to sea level or below sea level, where they can potentially be affected should there be a tsunami. So Cyprian, how do you feel about the possibility of a tsunami? Is it something for you that is scary, or do you think that you're prepared? If you're at school, you're prepared, you know how to respond if should you have to go into a tsunami drill, or if there's a real tsunami?
Well, I think we'll be prepared, but it's still pretty scary because you do not know what panic can cause some people.
That's true, and that's the thing. It's important for us to educate the public, because you're correct. No matter how many times we practice, there is the fact that we're human, and sometimes people may panic. But the purpose of practicing any drill is to ensure that you go back to your automatic response. And your automatic response, even when you're scared and even when you panic, if you practice enough, would be find the ball field if you're at school, or find higher ground. And at each school that can potentially be affected, or each school that has been identified, they know where they're supposed to go, and they know what their safe place is. And of course you can go higher than that, but this is your minimum safe place, and that is where we'll try to get you. The parents would know where to find you after, as long as the tsunami clears. So those types of drills help us to be safe, but it also helps with the way we communicate with the public and we communicate with everyone. When we come back, Cyprian, we are going to meet up with Krista, and Krista is the manager of the National Weather Services Caribbean Tsunami Program, and so we'll talk to her in a bit when we come back from the break.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on
Welcome back to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zanella Claxton from the Ministry of Education Natal, and today we are here with you this very beautiful Easter weekend. We have our end of month activity or engagement with the Nevis Disaster Management Department, and each month we focus on a disaster of an area that can potentially affect us here on Nevis. We have disaster ambassadors from each school, and so in January we saw the representatives from the Charlestown Primary School. In February we saw the representatives from the St. James Primary School, and this month, the month of March, our school of focus is the St. Thomas's Primary School. Today we have with us Mr. Cyprian David, and he is an excellent ambassador, and he has been sharing with us some tips and some things we needed to pay attention to as it relates to disaster management. We were supposed to be joined by Miss Krista Von Hilbrandt Andrade, and unfortunately we were not able to connect with her, but I will share with you a bit about her and what she does so that you get a sense of what she does, and then Cyprian will underscore the importance to all of the listeners to be alert of and to be aware of the information that you shared before we close out today's edition. So Krista Von Hilbrandt Andrade is the manager of the U.S. National Weather Service Caribbean Tsunami Program and the former director of the Puerto Rico Seismic Network. She received the Press Award for her work in developing real-time data acquisition systems, rapid response capabilities, and pioneering public outreach and education efforts, just like we're doing today, Cyprian, and has had profound impact on earthquake and tsunami monitoring and response for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands in particular, and throughout the Caribbean region. Von Hilbrandt Andrade's strong push for consistent funding of the Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands seismic networks, as well as her work to identify and minimize seismic station coverage gaps through regional partnerships, are among the accomplishments cited by her colleagues in nominating her for the award. As the director of the Puerto Rico Seismic Network, she worked with Jose Martinez Cruzado, director of the Puerto Rico Strong Motion Program in 2004, to craft an initiative that would assign part of Puerto Rico's annual budget to earthquake and tsunami monitoring, research, and public outreach. She was also a key player in the creation of the U.S. National Weather Service's Caribbean Tsunami Warning Program in 2010. In 2015, Von Hilbrandt Andrade also developed the initial protocols for the International Tsunami Ready Program, a UNESCO International Oceanographic Commission effort to recognize countries and coastal communities for consistent tsunami preparedness and mitigation. Von Hilbrandt Andrade's partners in hazard preparedness and response include government officials, educational leaders, and major industries, including the region's influential hospitality sector, along with the Girl Scout troops and Rotary members, said Jay Poliam, the W.M. Keck Foundation Professor of Geophysics at Baylor University in Texas. With little in the way of leverage over international partners, Krista wins over potential allies with appeals to the better parts of everyone's nature, and by offering opportunities to be part of a winning team that is having demonstrable positive impacts on people's lives, said Poliam, who nominated Von Hilbrandt Andrade for the award. Krista's successes have been powered by her enormous energy, enthusiasm, intelligence, and dedication to science and public safety, and has been aided by a good sense of humor and an unfailingly upbeat attitude. In their nominations for the Press Award, Von Hilbrandt Andrade's colleagues noted her unflagging dedication and success in public outreach, citing in particular her ability to interpret complex science and to foster community-centered earthquake and tsunami education. Since 2009, she has led coordination of Carib Wave exercise, an annual event for public and private institutions and members of the public in 48 participating countries to test communications, evacuation drills, and more in the face of several tsunami scenarios. More than 800,000 people participated in 2019 exercise. It is an honor to have been nominated and selected by my peers for the Frank Press Award. Working with a diverse and large group of stakeholders for advancing data and science-based earthquake and tsunami readiness has been a privilege, said Von Hilbrand Andrade. This award and the recent earthquakes in Puerto Rico motivate me to continue working towards safer communities. Von Hilbrand Andrade received her bachelor's degree in geology from the University of Delaware in 1984 and her master's in geology from the Escuela Politécnica Nacional, where she was a Fulbright scholar in Ecuador in 1989. She received as president of the Seismological Society of America from 2011 to 2013. So she was the president of that association for 2 years. And of course, we've had a chance to speak to Krista before on the show, Cyprian, and she has a wealth of knowledge, it's unfortunate we weren't able to connect today, but you got to learn a little bit about her. And there are people like Krista out there doing a lot of work as it relates to seismic activity, what's happening with earthquakes, how can we try to predict tsunamis. We haven't gotten a way down pat to predict them per se, but like Cyprian shared with us, there are certain key factors or key signs that we can look for in preparation for tsunami, looking out for a tsunami, and we have to be vigilant. Cyprian, like you, Krista is an advocate, and I hope that you were able to share a lot with, you were able to share a lot with our listeners today, and I hope that they were able to glean and get some information from you so that they can be prepared for a tsunami. If there's one word of advice or something that you would want to say to persons out there as it relates to tsunami readiness, what advice would you give to anyone listening?
Well, I know a lot of people would be excited to see a tsunami, but they should never go down to the beach to watch a tsunami happen. That would be very foolish, and it could end very badly.
Very, very badly. In fact, if you recall, Cyprian, we're thinking of 500 miles per hour as the pace of the waves. We've never experienced winds during a hurricane anywhere close to that, and it has destroyed households. So could you imagine waves and water moving is still, I think, a little bit stronger than air moving. And can you imagine? I can't. 500 miles per hour waves, and we're walking down to the ocean to see. There are people who may do it, and as Cyprian said, that is definitely not a good idea. What should they do instead?
They should immediately evacuate inland, find higher ground, because it is impossible to outrun a tsunami.
It is impossible to outrun a tsunami. Cyprian, you're a sprinter. I can't even run. So can you imagine? I can't try to outrun. So as long as we feel those signs, listeners and viewers, those signs that Cyprian identified earlier, that extreme shaking that causes you to fall, those types of things, you're hearing the thunder-like sounds of the waves, you have to find higher ground. Do not try to go down to the ocean to see what's happening and then try to outrun the waves. It will not end very well for you, and we want to make sure, and the reason Cyprian is here and the reason why the Nevis Disaster Management Authority does this type of work is to ensure that all persons in the community, children and as well as adults, are aware of the various disasters and are also aware of how to respond in the event that we have to face any of them. It is not an unlikely event because we are in tropical areas. In fact, every portion of Nevis is surrounded by water. The entire island is surrounded by water. There are some countries they have a select coastline. For example, South America, they might have those countries in the coastline. We are completely surrounded by water, and so we have to be wise in everything that we do. So that is why we have young people like Cyprian, our great ambassador. Cyprian, you did an excellent job, and we're proud of you, and we look forward to hearing more from you in relation to tsunamis, tsunamis, and so many more things. Thank you for being an advocate. Thank you for being an ambassador. And we look forward, boys and girls, men and women, parents, and every member of the community, we look forward to continuing to share with you as it relates to disaster management awareness. And of course, this is the final Saturday of March. It's also the final Saturday before the Gulf Insurance Limited, Bunny Limited Inter-Primary Championship. And so we wish every school the very best, and of course, because Cyprian is here, Cyprian, we wish you as an athlete also the very best in the meet on Wednesday. Everyone out there, please come on out and support our children, support Cyprian, support his schoolmates, and support all of the children who will be out there on Wednesday. Until next week, we wish you a safe and pleasant week. Have a great one.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's get it.
With all the